Okay.
All right. What is up, Bruno?
Hello, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Been sick a little bit, but now I'm very good. And I
Same
heard
for me.
you were
Same
saying
for
being
me.
sick.
I'm
Yeah.
fully recovered. That's what we were speaking before starting this podcast. And
Yeah.
Bruno said that everybody is sick, and I seen like stream of Rapha, and he's also getting cold and stuff like this. So I think this is the time where everybody gets sick.
Yeah. Too
But
drastic weather changes.
yeah, but no matter what, we're still coming up to you with great news. As I promised, we're gonna be back with some Quake Champions news because we already knew that something's coming up. That's not all we got for 2024, but it's a big thing because KeenCon just announced the league. And
Yep.
the first announcement they did was actually on the KeenCon 2023 finals after the whole tournament. Sombra announced it that they planning to do 2024 league, but we didn't know if it's gonna be like 1v1 or whatever. What I
Yeah.
expected personally, I thought it's gonna be almost exactly the same as QPL, so we're gonna get like substitute for QPL or whatever, and it's gonna be dual and for both regions. But we got the announcement that they decided to go for 2v2. And what's your thought about that? First of all, like, do you prefer
Oh,
2v2 over
I
1v1
think
or
it's great.
yeah?
Even in last KeenCon when we were talking about it, because I think you were there as well. Like when
Yeah.
Maxer was talking to us, they were deciding and they were asking the players what we would prefer 1v1 and 2v2, and
Hmm.
almost everyone preferred 2v2 because we're kind of fed up a little bit with duel,
Hmm.
especially
Yeah.
in the league format, because
Yeah.
everyone,
Yeah.
all the pro players have been in this 1v1 league format for like 5 years now.
Hmm.
Yeah, so a little change of pace. Team modes are back, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, I think for certain groups of people it's good, and for certain people it's not really that great. But I think, do you think it's good for KingCon itself, or do you think it's better for players because they starve in 2v2? They like tired of 1v1. But is KingCon going to, because it's a new company, the whole
Yeah,
Adrenaline team, like my opinion is like the whole KingCon and Adrenaline team, what would be really good for them to do is like to keep keep producing Quake events and then eventually become something bigger, like for example ESR or PGL, or like the whole production team who can really make a show out there for like other companies, so they can
you could
work
have
with.
just said face it. That's what they did at the start.
Yeah, yeah, or that, yeah, yeah, something similar. So I really want to see them going this path because they got
Yeah.
a lot of good like they got technology there, which is like allowing them to produce really good events, and we've seen in 2023 and also like in 2022. Although I personally started to like pay more attention in 2023, and I think the show looked great and it was like on the same level as if we had like for example PGL or ESL or other company doing it for us. So
Yeah,
s-
like production wise, I think they can compete with even like broad actual TV broadcasting studios. It's all
mhm.
very professional, and I think that's what they're trying to do. They're using Quake as a platform to build themselves up, build their brand, and
Yeah,
I'm glad to see they
yeah,
keep
which is good,
supporting it.
which is good for both companies, for KingCon and Quake
Yeah,
and the community. It's just my question is, do you think they're gonna benefit more from 2v2 than they would from 1v1, or you think like 2v2 is because like players prefer 2v2?
I think 2v2 is better for the players and for them, honestly.
And for them,
Uh,
and for KingCon itself.
for KeenCon, I think maybe Duel would be easier to broadcast and get attention.
Hmm. Because do you think we're gonna have more viewers if we have 2v2, or we will have more viewers with Jules?
That's the thing. I think duels usually bring more viewers, but since people are kind of fed up with duels, not just players, also viewers, maybe 2v2
Hmm.
will actually get more viewers, depending on the teams as well, right?
Hmm. And
Especially.
we also need to look at it like the whole picture for 2024, I think. Because for example, if we also have like other like third parties who gonna jump on the board and do some
Hmm.
Quake events. For example, if we're gonna have Iron Fist or if we're gonna have some endpoint Foundry again, then we most likely gonna have 1v1 like for those tournaments. So we're gonna have both like, so maybe we can keep the scene together and keep people interested in both like modes. uh, because I don't know, like in 2018, for example, right, when we had like
Yeah.
the whole year basically was like 2v2, except the last event, which was 1v1 and 2v2 as well.
Yeah.
I think maybe mixing 1v1 and 2v2 will be better for the whole like community and viewers and like keep people interested in
I
things.
agree. For me, ideally, we would rotate like competitive game mode every 6 months or every year, so
Hmm.
it's not the same thing for like
Hmm.
4 years straight.
Hmm.
Because it's not like we get a lot of new maps in the game or a lot of new champions. So I
Hmm.
think the community, like switching between competitive game modes, is the best way to keep the game feeling fresh.
Hmm. Exactly. Okay, so what they've announced is the 2v2 league, which is starting 2nd March,
Hmm.
and it's gonna end up like on KeenCon 2024 LAN in Barcelona, which gonna be in November, in the beginning of November. We're gonna have monthlies,
Yeah,
and each month it's gonna be every fourth Saturday of the month, I believe, and then we got and then we're gaining points, and we got okay. So we're starting with three with diamond, gold, and elite, right?
yeah. Those are the three elo categories for which, if you want to play in any tournament, you need to be ranked in game. I think that's also a cool thing, right? Because
Hmm.
the the in-game rank ladders are not that populated anymore,
Hmm.
so they're forcing players to play ranked. So I think that should be cool.
Yeah, it creates some movement in the game in
Yeah,
general, so it's also good for the game itself. Okay, so if you guys want, no matter kind of what skill you are, you still can participate and you're still winning money. This is what is really good. And I think, for example, when I've been speaking about Quake and doing like 1v1 tournaments and investing in Quake with Pete from Endpoint, I think he mentioned that he really, really would like to see something like this in Quake, that he has like different divisions and he
yeah.
engage like different kind of skill of players and he feels like it builds the whole community.
It's really cool because, especially for KeenCon, KeenCon, I've kind of been doing it, bridging the gap between pro and amateurs with their LAN. There's a lot of amateur Spanish players who go there to compete versus the pro, and it's a great experience for everyone involved because
Mhm.
everyone gets a lot of games in. Pros get the time to warm up, and the amateur players get to test themselves and feel what playing versus a real pro is like, and be a part of that competitive community.
Mhm. Exactly. And let's speak about the prize pool because we've got finals, which is 10K, and it's
10K.
gonna be increased by the donations.
Yeah,
We got gold, which is like monthly 50 euro. Then we got diamond, which is monthly 150 euro. And then we got elite, which is like 250 euro per month. So quickly calculation, I think we're gonna reach around, I think with donations, honestly, we can easily reach around 25K. Because like
wow,
we got
that would be
10K,
great.
we got almost 2.5, we got 2K from like elite, right?
Yeah.
Then we got one and a
It's
half
400 a
K.
month totally, so
It's
4K basically.
Yeah, so it's like around 14K or something like that. But I
Yeah,
really think like throughout the season, because now we start in donation from the March straight away,
yeah,
and we got 8 months leading to the finals. So we got 8 months of donations. If we run like both donations at the same time, so we have one which is already for finals and we have one which is like monthlies, then I think we easily can reach like 20-25K, which is already half of the price pool of the QPL. So we kind of have really good substitute for QPL, I would say, which is really nice for me to see. Um, and
plus
then
apparently all the players will also get supported. Whoever qualifies to KeenCon also gets 250 to support the
exactly,
costs.
that's
I'm
worth
just seeing that.
mentioning. That's worth mentioning because like it means everybody can literally participate because first of all you're gonna win some money, and then second of all you're gonna get support to go there, so you don't really need a
Yeah,
org or sponsor. And it's also good for orgs, because organizations want their players to compete in exclusive tournaments which are paid. Like it was same with QPL, it was same with Quake, with all the Quake events in Quake Champions. I think every tournament was exclusive. Every single tournament I went to in Quake Champions was fully paid with flights, with hotels, with catering, with food, everything. Every cost was refunded
I
by
think
the
almost all of them. Yeah,
by the
except maybe
devs.
like the community ones, I guess, like
Yeah,
Quachicon,
yep,
ESWC.
yep,
That's about it.
yeah. So it's good to know. And then what is really nice, we have point system. So it means it's like literally league system because it means you need to participate in all of the tournaments basically. Because if you're gonna skip one or two, if you are top team, of course you can skip one or two. But first of all, you're not gonna gain money for that month. Second of all, you're just gonna have less points and probably gonna have worse seat on the LAN. So
Yeah.
most likely you want to play all of them. So we got point system, which is like first place getting 10 points, second 7 points, and I think based of those points, we're gonna have 8 best teams, which gonna be invited to KeenCon and they're gonna play. And it's a bit different than QPL because we got like it's weekly tournaments, so you're not really playing only one team like it was in QPL, one player against one player, and then it rotates. We every fourth Saturday of the month we have like legitimate tournament with double in bracket.
A really big. So every month people are going to be practicing, and then that one Saturday, all the
Hmm.
teams show up to compete. I think that's really cool.
Hmm.
Because first of all, you don't have to play every week, right? If you get burned out of playing 2 months in a row straight, you can take the first couple of weeks of the month, then practice 1 week,
Hmm.
and then play the tournament.
That's first of all, and second of all, imagine if we have like every single week that we have to play, all those weekends will be like busy for other like third parties. So
Yeah,
for example, if a Stoti wants to do anything, he cannot really do anything unless it's like Sunday. And Sunday is
exactly.
usually a bit worse for like the gaming stuff, like, and Saturday is always better. So either Friday or Sunday he has to work with. And in this case we can have some S30 2v2 caps as well. Like
It leaves 3 weeks out of the month
yeah,
completely free.
yeah. So it's pretty cool, I think.
It's a cool format. I dig it. I remember when we are at the LAN, they were discussing a lot about how to do it,
Hmm.
and this seemed to be the format that made the most sense for everything.
Hmm. Okay, so now we come into the important part. Let's speak about potential teams
Hmm.
because I think it's really cool to discuss. So
Yes.
we obviously gonna focus on elite. We can't go through the all the like divisions because it will be too much. So let's stick with like let's say eight best teams.
Hmm.
Uh, do you think we're gonna have a lot of like NA teams?
I'm not sure. I kind of want to see what the NA players will do because like the NA scene is kind of like being shifted over to Quake Live right now because they
Hmm.
have like a huge Quake Live clan arena league, and there's also Project Velocity in which a
Hmm.
lot of NA players are taking part. And I don't see a lot of NA players currently playing Quake Champions. But
Hmm.
with a 10k price pool, maybe they'll consider it because this is open to everyone to play
Hmm.
online.
Hmm.
But out of that, especially since Rapha is also playing in Europe now, I'm not sure how many NA players will actually play. Probably Chain, maybe
Hmm.
Dramis, Saigib,
Hmm.
and maybe one more.
Okay, so I think some of the teams will stay like this because we already had few events like Vaxi, we had Estoti, we have another Estoti incoming, we got like Nations Cup. So I think some teams are already formed and it's gonna stay like this. For example, I don't see a point in breaking the team of like Cults and Series because they
They did
doing
well,
they doing really good. And then the other guy I would see us playing with is like, for example, Tox because they already practicing for Nation Cup.
and they did well. They got second place, right? In the Vaxi tournament, I think they got second.
You mean Tox and Zen?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. This is what I was coming to. That Tox also has a great team and he's playing with Zen. It's just I don't know for how good this team will be like long term because
no idea.
I was thinking about like from my perspective, right? So I was thinking like what would be good for me to who would be really good for me to play with, and it's not like a tournament, for example. It's
Hmm.
not like a study that I'm just grabbing a teammate, we practicing 1 week or 2 weeks,
Yeah, this is
and then
long
it's done.
terms.
This is 8 months straight, one teammate. So it also has to be a guy who is not really annoying you, who is like who has you have positive vibes with him, right? It's like it's there is some connections and there is some chemistry. So you
Are you
can't like
trying
be,
to date someone, or are you looking for a teammate?
no, 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 no. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I most likely have a
Okay.
teammate already, but I think it must be the right person. I don't see myself pushing to play with someone for 8 months straight and feeling bad about it. Not feeling bad about it, but just like feeling uncomfortable because
Yeah.
with some people you kind of push to uncomfortable situations and you need to
It's
feel
too long to
yeah.
half-ass it, basically.
Yeah,
You gotta have someone that shares the same kind of mindset that you do,
mhm,
that wants to practice as much as you do, that wants to take the games as seriously as you do, and that has the same vibes that you do.
exactly. I think that's why CS, for example, is so difficult because you got 5 players. All of them have different like mindset. All of them have different goals. All of them like think differently and want to do different things.
Yeah.
Like if you find 5 people who are on the same page, it's already like half of the success.
And the worst part is that they're all CS players. It's so
Yeah. Yep. So I just want to see like if Tox and Zen is like good long term like team, and if they have a lot of room to improve, because
yeah.
maybe some teams I think gonna start really strong, like Zen Talks, but I want
Yep.
to see if they like keep like improving or they gonna be on the same level as they now because they
That actually
they already
brings
hit the
another
roof.
question. Like, if someone decides to switch teammate halfway through, how will the points go over? Will it be like half points for each teammate?
Oh, I think it's impossible then. I think
They
you should,
they would just start from zero.
yeah, I think you sign up as a team and then you cannot really, I don't think you can like shift
But that
mid-season.
I'm sure some teams will do it because 8 months is a really long time. So I'm sure some teams will try to switch teammates, and I'm curious how KeenCon will handle it,
I
basically.
think it must be like point out in the rules if you can do that or
Yeah,
not, and based on what like. But yeah, that's interesting. I don't really think they will allow it because it will just create too much mess.
probably, but I'm just saying they
Because
need to
look
have
at
rules in place to deal with it because it will happen most likely.
because most likely if one guy or wants to switch the team, it means 2 teams already are disbanded from top probably.
Yeah,
And then what? And then maybe we don't even have 8 teams in elite at that point because it's like I don't know. Another question is like for example uh, yeah there's like there will be some people who are like who most likely not gonna be in there. For example, I don't know what's Xron gonna do, right? Because he cannot leave his country, so it means he cannot go to the LAN event,
yeah,
which means the whole like league process for him is like pointless, right?
pretty much.
And then
So
what is he's
if
gonna.
he's allowed to play the online tournaments, he will just try to play them to, because he likes to V2 and try to get
Yeah.
some money.
Plus, he can win like online, He can also
Yeah,
win some money. Just the thing is, he will not qualify. Then his teammate needs another guy who gonna go with him to LAN, and then it's also, like it must be like stated in the rules how we gonna do that. Okay,
from
so
what I've heard, like Kron and I were trying to talk to Maxter about it, and they said Kron sadly will not be able to participate for the LAN
mhm,
because he would need to go there.
mhm,
That
exactly.
kind of sucks for him. But
It doesn't
what?
really make sense because I was also speaking with him, and it wouldn't make sense as it was like for like 1v1 because it means every single team who playing against his team would have to play online.
Yeah.
And then imagine so many people using the connection. You know how it is in the game.
Plus,
It will
if it's
be
LAN
like,
server, it wouldn't be from like Ukraine to Romania. It would be to Spain. So you'd
yeah,
have like 80 ping or something.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so we got Serious Scouts, we got Tox Zen, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Wenger Razy, most
Wenger
likely as well.
Razy is also sure. So we got 3 teams. Then there is rumors that Max and Rapha gonna play together.
That would be cool.
That will be very cool, and I think we're gonna speak about this separately later. I'm most likely I'm gonna play with Kilson. We got four
So five
teams.
teams. Five. Oh, okay. If you count for Maxter or not,
Yeah,
see.
yeah, I do. So yeah. So it's five teams.
And then you have Clawz and Silencep.
Then we got Clawz and Silencep, and it
Complete
depends.
rumor.
Yeah, it depends if Silencep wants. Silencep probably will want to play.
Yeah. What about Clawz? This
I
is
don't
just
know.
me putting pressure on him because I've been annoying him every day to play.
Mhm.
This is just maybe someone will see the video and annoy him to play, and maybe the idea will start growing in his head, and maybe
I
he'll
don't.
play.
I don't think he will play.
Probably not.
It wouldn't make sense for him. Plus, I
I
don't.
mean,
I don't really think he really likes to grind. So,
no, he
and it's
doesn't.
8 months league. I
Yeah,
think
but it's once a month for him.
I don't think he gonna commit for that,
Probably not.
unfortunately.
Although there's some not something we didn't mention, right, about the format is that there's also a qualifier like a month or so before the LAN. Or am I wrong?
I'm not really familiar with that.
Yeah, like the 2v2 LAN tournament at Barcelona KeenCon 2024 will have 16 slots. The other 8 places will be filled after a previous qualification tournament to be held a few weeks before the LAN party. So maybe
Ooh,
a month or two before the LAN, there will be another online tournament to qualify another 8 teams.
I think that's
So
super good.
that's that's actually pretty cool. So
It's
teams that don't
extremely
qualify
good.
through the league, even people like Clawz and Silencep, if they don't want to grind the whole 8 months, they can
Mhm.
grind like 1 month before that and probably qualify.
You can also form like different kind of teams like later
That's
on, you
also
know?
true.
It's like it's
If
super
your
good, I
team
think.
doesn't work out during the whole league, then you can shuffle.
Yeah, you just disband.
Yeah,
Easy. And you sell your spot to some
pretty
like
much.
to some weak team who couldn't qualify and they willing to pay like million
Exactly.
dollars because they want to participate. Anyway, next other teams like
Uh,
I hope we will have some team with who would you like to see Chain play with? Because
I
Strong
mean,
Sage left
looking
Quake
at
Champions, I
10A,
think.
it would probably either be Dramis, Saigib, or Effortless, right? You would probably end up playing with like probably Dramis because they played a lot together, and then you'd have probably maybe Saigib with Effortless. I think that's a team I'd like to see. I don't know if Yenem still plays,
Hmm.
but like those guys are really good in team modes. They should definitely be more active competitively.
Do you think Chain Dramis will be stronger team than Chain Psyjip?
I think Saigib is one of the best 2v2 players. I'm
I
just
think
saying
so
Chain
too. I
Dramis
just don't
because
know how.
they've played a lot together.
Yeah, I don't know how they would like play together like Psyjip and Chain. I never seen them play together, I think. You know
Same.
who I would like to see again?
Who?
Tox Cooler.
Tuck Schooler, man.
And I would like to see them streaming all the
You
practice
know who
games.
what team I'd like to see? Cypher Cooler.
That would be also dope. Yep, yep, that would be
And the
cool.
team could call themselves Genji Mains.
Genji mains? Yep, yep. Uh, what else? What else? I
Phase
also want
RMV.
that's cool too. We're gonna speak about it soon, but I would like to see more Russian teams because definitely we're gonna have Antoshka and Stone,
Yeah, not Jetson.
and then I would like to see Base playing with someone because I really think Base can be really good. He's really good 2v2 player if
Maybe
he
with
play
Anches.
maybe with Venger. I I think he's really good 2v2 player when he can play with someone who speaks Russian.
Yeah,
Because I don't know if you remember, guys, but Venger played with Base and Base couldn't speak any English, so when
I
they give
remember
him
them talking
timings,
about number. Yeah,
yeah. So Base learned how to count from 1 to 10, and then if the heavy was 17, he was saying 1-7 is heavy.
that's good.
1-7, go red. 1-8, go mega.
But that's
And
good.
I
That's
think that's
really
enough.
good
That's
communication.
that's enough. That's enough in 2v2. What else can
Yeah,
you say? Like you got some comps like you can also say where is the enemy or whatever, you know? Each if the other guy can speak, I think it should be like minimum like timings and I think we should make separated video honestly like how to play perfect 2v2. Even though
yeah,
I already did like a little bit of that video, but I think 2v2 is a very complex game and we still don't know much about it. And I think we're still gonna figure out a lot like during this season, cause
definitely.
cause we didn't
Because like,
really pay too much attention to 2v2 previously.
yeah, now that everyone's gonna be practicing for like 8 months, in
Mhm,
like 3-4 months, the level's gonna rise a lot.
mhm. And yeah, going back to what you said, RMV Phase. I really like this team
Yeah,
because both of them
you're
play
welcome. I made the team.
nice. Phase asked me like what I think about it, and I told him I think it's a very good option for him because they both playing aggressive, and I think RMV is super good into V2 like combat wise. He's
Yeah,
hitting a lot. He's like very fast. He plays fast champions, which is important.
and he listens,
Yeah, he seems
which
to be
is.
on items, and I think he can be really good. It
I
just
told them this would be a good team, and they should name themselves Whiners.
Swiners,
Whiners.
whiners,
Yeah,
whiners. Yeah. And also that will be entertaining to see them play together and
Yeah,
maybe like get some cool wines or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, we need some entertainment. We need like some fun teams, and we need people to stream, you know? That's also like
Exactly.
part of it. I think I enjoyed a lot of the streams before 2v2 tournaments. Like it was super fun, you know? There's like a lot of funny clips from 2v2s, like with cooler talks as well, and that's why I want to see such teams.
Do you
Um,
think Garpy and Bukster will team up again,
I think so. I think so.
or do you think Sparty is gonna come back?
Uh,
And CNZ maybe.
mhm. Well, that's interesting too. I would like to see Sparty back. Mm,
Sparty is really good at 2v2.
yeah, yeah, agree. Agree. Who will he play with, you think? Baxter?
I think he usually played with Bukster, but
Yeah.
now that Bukster might be playing with Garpy, maybe he would. I don't know.
Hmm.
Because if those four players with CNZ, then if they all decide to play, I think the normal team would be like Garpy, Sparty, and Bukster CNZ.
Hmm. Yeah,
So they all play basically. Because I don't know the chemistry they have if not those four. Because Bukster can play
yeah,
with all of them, right?
yeah. What do you think about Garpy Hell?
Garpy Hell,
They used to play
the
together.
UK team.
Yeah,
I don't know.
would be fun.
Would be fun, definitely. I just don't know how much time Hell has to play competitively.
Oh, I think he has time. I think he plays for fun, like quite some. I seen him playing Quake Live. I seen him playing 2v2 lately. So
Nice.
I think he will play. We actually can create a lot of teams because I really think like Baxter CNZ would kind of play together because they both spoke Russian and like they played good. They had good chemistry.
I mean, we
Then
talked about Base as well. Base could play with Bukster too.
true, or with CNZ
And
actually.
so many options, man.
Actually, with CNZ, I think he will play. You know who I would
Maybe.
like to see Base play with? With Agent.
They played once, right? In
They did,
tours.
and uh, no, they also played on DreamHack, and they actually beat like Clawz and Silencep.
Oh, wow.
They played on DreamHack 2018, and they beat Clawz and Silencep.
Oh, right. They got like top 8 in that tournament
Yeah,
and top 6 in tours. That's pretty
yeah,
big,
yeah, yeah.
pretty big result.
So I would like to see them play. And I think Agent is allowed to play KeenCon, so that will be cool for him. Plus some like plus some vacations in Spain.
Yeah.
I wish it was in July. Perfect
Same.
weather.
I mean, it's probably a bit wetter in July at that.
Yeah. So we got a lot of teams. So yeah, Agent Base, for example. Then we got CNZ Baxter. We would have, for example, Garpy Hell, which leaves us with Sparty still being able to play with someone.
Will Cypher play?
That's the question. I don't know. I know
Because he can go to Spain, right?
yeah, yeah. He
Will he
still
want to?
he still needs to make a Schengen visa.
Oh, I mean, he has
But
the whole year, so he'll probably leave it one
I
week before.
yeah, I think he will try like a few days before. He will say, "Sorry guys, the line was too huge in my embassy." But no, I hope he will play.
Imagine a team like
Imagine
Cypher
him.
Clawz.
Yeah, that would be cool. But imagine him playing with Xron, qualified to the finals. Xron
Oh,
cannot go, and
yeah.
Cypher cannot go. No, and Cypher can't go. Who will he play then? Then he takes close last minute, easy.
Yeah,
And it's CC team.
easy team.
CC from sunny Belarus to sunny Spain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although Klaus is living in Poland now, so
Oh, easy.
yeah, he's living in Warsaw. Uh,
Nice.
there is a lot of teams actually, potentially, but I'm just thinking who can Sparty play with?
I would usually put him with, Baxter. If not,
Yeah,
because Party is someone that can play basically anyone.
yeah,
He has a
yeah.
lot of experience in team modes. He communicates well. He
Hmm.
times really well, and he's a really good support. So he can play with virtually anyone.
Hmm. We still we still got teams like we still got Enesy.
Yeah,
What do you think about team of Sparty and Enesy? Because I think
that would be interesting.
Enesy usually plays with someone who doesn't really grind Quake. So now he plays with Pulse. Pulse barely touches the game, and then it's like, and then you end up with like mediocre team who
Yeah,
cannot really break to like top place. But what if we put Enesy with someone like Sparty, who is already experienced, has like good, as you said, he's good TDMer, and then you give him Enesy, who has crazy aim and combat skills, and then he kind of tries to lead Enesy in the game.
Yeah, I think the biggest, like, Enesy has insane combat skills. The only thing holding him back is, having a reliable teammate that he can listen to, right?
hmm hmm And then he
Because
can
he,
also like catch a lot of the things.
yeah,
Like during these 8 months, he can really grind his game, and he can be better TDM player. So he can play better on items, like don't really feed as much because I think that's also the issue. So I think he can catch up all those things, and I will see him with someone like Sparty, for example.
I think Enesy would be good in a lot of teams, like either with Sparty or even with someone that might seem like a weird pick, like Bukster, for instance.
hmm
But Bukster is someone that is very honest,
hmm
If he sees you make a mistake, he'll say it. And Enesy is the type of guy that he takes criticisms very, very well because he really wants to improve.
Okay, I
So
didn't
I
know that
think,
actually. You played a bit with NSC, right? Like some
yeah, we
practice
play we
games.
play a lot, but as you said, I'm someone that doesn't really grind the game.
hmm
So when I say something, he doesn't really listen to me because I do.
hmm
We get to the end and I do 3k damage, so it doesn't matter.
Understand. Yeah, I
But
think Sparty will be good for him.
yeah,
We need to tell Sparty to come back, and that's it.
yeah, pretty much. Because I don't really see a lot of people that would be at that level that aren't playing right now.
hmm Now, what I really want to see, like, do you think I would really love to see Nosfa play again? But
Who?
how?
Oh man, if Nosfa plays, he could play with one of the Americans, right?
Yeah, but
Imagine Nosfa and dramis.
yeah,
You put them in the map in like CK, they don't even move from spawn because they're on
yeah,
the rail.
yeah. Didn't they play together 2v2? They did, right?
I
In
think so.
2018, they did. They were like close friends and they played 2v2 together. So maybe we could create that team, Nosfa Dramis, and then have Chain playing with Psyjip.
Interesting.
What do you think about if we take like more professional approach and like we do some kind of tryouts? Because in any other team mode game, what we would have to do, we wouldn't just be teaming up like this. Hey, Kilson, there's King Connect, let's play. Of course, let's play. We would actually like try to, do some
Yeah, do
run some
tryouts.
practice and see like who has the best chemistry, because sometimes you got two good players on paper and they are not kind of like on the same page.
Yeah,
So
I
that's the
remember
issue
that
as
because
well.
even in 2018, you had a lot of weird teams that kept shuffling every couple of months. Like, look at the two Z guys, right?
hmm
They started their teams with the Clawz and Silencep, which for me were
Yeah,
the best duo, and then they shuffled, and it went to Silencep and Han and Clawz and Toxic, and then they shuffled again. It was Clawz and Han and Silencep and
yeah.
Toxic,
And
and
they
none of those
never did
made
really
much
good.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I,
yeah.
I think if they stuck with like Clawz and Silencep, they probably would have competed to try and take the title from the Hang and Rapha once.
hmm Yeah. Sometimes you had like also crazy good aimers. I remember this like close talks team. It was pretty good, I must
Hmm.
say. I think they lack some communication and like being on the same page. So that will take a lot of time to practice. And this
Yeah.
is what I mean, like with the tryouts. I think people should be tryouting a bit. So like just like agreeing on playing together. I don't think it's the best like idea, but it's the first league for 2v2. Do you think KingCon gonna keep going with the league and they gonna have like 2025 season? Do you think it's
That's
long
probably a
term
bit too
or?
early to tell. I think it depends on how well this does,
hmm
right? If there's teams dropping out halfway through the season and
Yeah.
then they have to scavenge, because like one of my biggest worry right now is that the divisions are cool, but will we really have like more than 10 teams in Elite?
hmm
I'm not completely sure because right now we made like what 8 teams,
hmm
and we're kind of running out of players.
Okay, so let's say we all need to be elite. So we all need to play ranking games, right?
Yeah, and we all need to be over 2.3k elo.
What if there is
That
two
is
guys? What if there is two guys sniping all the time and they don't let you go to elite?
that's mine and Xron's plan, right? Because I'm likely going to cast KeenCon and he can't attend, so we're just gonna play together rank and we're gonna snipe. We're gonna gatekeep all the pros from reaching
Okay.
elite.
What if you keep getting wrecked by them?
Then we
That
will compete in diamond, man.
that's the main idea.
Hey,
Honestly,
we win either way.
Guys, why don't you actually play in Diamond? It's like 150 for winner. It's better than Elite because you cannot really win Elite, right?
Yeah, likely not, because me.
So, easy,
Yeah,
easy,
we might actually compete in
easy
Diamond.
150, man.
We'll
Maxer,
try.
Maxer, you guys messed up. You got Diamond already booked
Yeah,
by
I'm
Instant
Diamond, man.
Chron. Yeah.
I mean, right now my in-game elo in 2v2 is actually gold because I always play solo and I end up with teammates that are like 800
Ah,
elo.
nah, nah, nah. 50 is,
Nah,
nah, nah. Better Diamond.
yeah, yeah.
Aim for the
I'll just
aim
have to
Diamond. Yeah,
improve a little bit and I'll go to Diamond.
exactly. Anyway, long story short, I really like the idea of 2v2 and I can't wait to start playing it. And I like that it's monthly, so we got some break and we can put like other tournaments. And we
Yeah,
also, and also, like as I said, if we got Iron Fist or if we have Foundry, we got like, we know when to unlaunch anything, you know? We have weeks open and we can like do anything else. So I'm super excited for 2024. Do you think, do you think that Quake Live and Quake Champion will interrupt like this year a lot, or do you think it will go smoothly, like
considering
schedule
like
wise?
considering most of these big things like KeenCon is announcing stuff way ahead of time and Project
Yeah,
Velocity also announces stuff way ahead of time. I don't think there should be any clash whatsoever.
me neither. That's why I'm even more happy because I know we will have a lot of Quake action, and honestly, we're gonna have much more action than we had so far, I think.
Yeah.
Because
And
this
one
year
thing I
it's
want to
like
say,
stacked. It's like completely stacked with
I want
tournaments.
to appeal to the community. If you're a player competitive in any way, take part in these online leagues for KeenCon because if they do well, they're gonna keep going. They're gonna make it next year and they're gonna get bigger and better. So please
Exactly.
take part in it.
Exactly. This is also what I repeat. Guys, whenever you listen to this podcast, it's not only about like financial help or anything like this, but even if you like speak about it, even if you leave comment under this video, it it helps us to reach to the bigger like audience, because like we are better promoted on YouTube if we get a lot of comments, if we have some likes or dislikes. If you dislike, it's like just like make some appearance in this
Exactly.
video.
Leave a
And
comment, even
yeah,
if you don't like what Av3k says, if you disagree with anything,
yeah,
leave a comment. I'll reply to you when we can argue online.
of course. Ins is very good.
Interaction.
Ins is very good at arguing online,
It's
so
it's it's my talent.
better don't do that. But yeah, guys, you can help us. Subscribe, leave the comment, and I think I went through all the information I wanted to say.
hmm
Unless you want to say something about this,
Oh, since we're here, I might as well mention I'm gonna try to do player cards as well for KeenCon
that,
2v2.
that's also good.
So that's a little bit more memorabilia.
Do you think it's possible for like some of the viewers to get some kind of cards or have like
If I do
extra
this,
extra copy of that or?
yeah, if I do this, I'll try to make it so that we can actually sell them, so that people can
Mhm,
actually get them for themselves.
mhm.
But I think it's a really cool piece of memorabilia, like to remember in 10 years. Oh, this happened. These were the players that attended.
Yeah,
It's cool.
yeah, it's super cool feature, and I think you're probably gonna do some video about it, right? Because it's also
Yeah,
good
probably.
content. Because you're basically gonna be ranking the players like based on
We
their
should make a
combat
video
skills and
ranking people.
timings and stuff. Yeah, yeah, that will
We'll
be
try to
super
make a
good.
video ranking people just to
But
get
I,
people annoyed.
it's just I think we need a bit more people to like help us with it, so we got like
Yeah.
bigger view about it, like not only us two or like we also need someone with us, I think, to do that.
Yeah.
It's just super hard because like for me, for example, it's like extremely hard to like judge people like on certain like abilities. Sometimes I don't know if there is a lot of players, because then you kind of you already got someone in mind, and then you forget about someone, and then somebody didn't play for a long time. It's extremely hard,
I
but it's
agree.
very satisfying in the end.
I'm currently like just asking people their opinions on like different categories that I came up, and we could
Mhm.
either put those opinions in a video or we could ask some of those players to join us for a video.
Yeah. Or we can, even if you guys like have any thoughts, like just also tell us what teams you would like to see what do you think will be the strongest team in KeenCon? Do you
Hmm.
think Rapha should team up with someone else than Maxter? Maybe Dahang should be back? Like, like, do you think Rapha and Maxter can dominate as Rapha dominated with Dahang? Like,
I think
what
the
do you
only
think?
problem for Rafa and Maxer is communication, because Rafa is
Mhm.
really good at communication, but Maxer can't speak Spanish or English.
And Rapha can speak Spanish, right? Either.
Probably better than Maxter.
Okay. That makes some problems. I'm not gonna lie. It creates some problems. All right. So it's gonna be kind of base Venger team.
Yes,
So Maxter
where
just needs
Maxer
to
says
know that
something but nobody understands him.
heavy is 1-7, and it's enough.
Or you can just write it in team chat, so Rafa can just read it and understand it.
What we need to do, we need to ask Sensor to like let us bind things, like in Quake 3, where you had bind, like red
Yeah,
armor is coming, like, or like red armor 24 or something like
or
this.
dropping a weapon.
Yeah, that would be good. Dropping weapon would be good too.
But I think if you try to drop a weapon in Quake Champions, the whole game just crashes.
Yeah. What I was speaking about that people gonna learn a lot about 2v2. I think nowadays we don't see a lot of people denying weapons before they die. Like it was like crucial.
People dying with rail out just
Yeah,
annoys
it
the
was
hell out of me, man.
crucial. It was crucial in like Quake Live or Quake 3. You can't die with LG out because the
Or
other guy
rail.
has this LG or rail or
Yeah,
whatever. You
but
always switch to machine gun or like even shotgun or whatever.
I was talking about this with Silencep, but the biggest difference is that in Quake Live, the weapon respawn time in TDM is 30 seconds, and
Yeah.
machine gun does 4 damage.
Yep.
If you put these players right now in Quake from Quake Champions in a Quake Live 2v2 league, they will
They
all
can't
rage
play.
quit within 2
Yeah,
months.
yeah, they can't play. Because first of all, they wouldn't be able to get weapon because like good players gonna control weapons in 2v2.
Yeah.
Like on
Quake
ZTN,
Champions 2v2, it's always like assessed state, right? You're
yeah.
always just
Oh,
basically rushing red armor in Purgatory.
yeah. Or like in Quake 3 or Quake Live, like on ZTN, like we were controlling rail, and you had majority of spawns around that. You couldn't really like cross from Rocket to LG because it was also controlled. Like you had
Yeah,
like to do something like before you just went simply for to get the rail. And like here in Quake Champions, you just spawn and go get the rail, and it's good.
yeah. Even to get a weapon like rockets, you need to do like you need to be planned. You need to be coordinated with your teammate.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, what do you think about the spawn change that you cannot like delay spawns anymore? I really like that you could delay, even though sometimes I was impatient and I just didn't delay because I wanted to play. But I
I
know,
think it was a
like,
bit too much.
you think
Like
so?
it was 7 or 8 seconds. That's a little bit much.
I think
I think
maybe
five
you are
seconds
right.
maybe.
Maybe you are right because like on LAN, like where everybody like grinds and everybody is like so tight. Everybody plays tight on LAN, like even in 1v1, everybody playing so defensive. We wouldn't have like crazy like quadrants
Yeah,
because like people
because
wouldn't just like spawn and then you have wasted
even
quadrant.
if you find them,
Casters are bored, like viewers are
yeah,
bored, and you know.
because even if you find them as they spawn, if they wait all the 7 seconds, you only get max 4 frags. If you find them from spawn,
Yep.
so that's now you can get like 5, 6 because it's only 3 seconds. I think that's maybe I could delay it like to 4, 5 seconds, but not more.
Mhm. All right, that's it, I guess. If you enjoyed, let us know. Tell us what
If you
teams you
didn't
think are
enjoy, let
also
us know as
also
well.
let us know. And then it's not the end for 2024 for Quake Champions. We're still gonna have some news about tournaments.
It's a
So
new beginning.
yep. So keep an eye on this channel and on what we are posting, and we're definitely gonna come back to you with some more announcements later on in this year. Anyway, thank you Bruno for being with me,
And thank you for being with me.
and let's do some player cards in future.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.